Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about what not to do when it comes to applying for dermatology in the UK. For those who don't know me, I'm Chris and I am a dermatology trainee working in the west of Scotland in the UK. And on this channel I share my life experiences working in dermatology, medicine and life in the UK in general. Dermatology is highly competitive for two main reasons. Number one, it is a small specialty and so there aren't many jobs available each year. Number two, it is quite a close-knitted niche specialty, so it's often quite difficult to get experience, to do projects and audits before applying to dermatology. In fact, there is often little to no dermatology teaching in medical school, and there aren't many jobs advertised post-graduation either. A lot of people have been asking me how they should gear their CV to dermatology, and so I thought in order to make things more interesting, I can share with you the top 4 things you should never do when it comes to applying for dermatology. Number 1, waiting for opportunities to arrive. This is really simple and self-explanatory. Now, a lot of projects such as quality improvement projects, audits, and even research are hard to come by in general medicine, let alone in dermatology. I have seen so many people at work who have missed opportunities simply because they don't take the initiative to do them. You are rarely going to be handed a project to do, and so I would encourage you to take the initiative to actually ask to do them. No matter where you are, no matter which department you are in, you can always do something related to dermatology. So for example, if you are doing a rheumatology job, you can do something to do with psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. And if you are in hematology, you can think of doing something to do with, say, for example, skin manifestations from hematological malignancies or skin rashes from the drugs that they give, such as immunotherapy in hematology. Now just make sure you do a proper job from start to finish instead of a half-hearted job, because it will show to people about your work ethic in the long run. Now unfortunately there are people I know who appear extremely enthusiastic in the beginning but simply do not do any work or give a very half-hearted work at the end. And this is simply quite irresponsible and disheartening to see, and it shows a lot about their work ethic to other people. So in essence, I would encourage all of you to take the initiative to approach people, to do projects, or even better, think about projects that you can potentially do within your own department that has some relevance to dermatology, and make sure you do them properly and thoroughly. Number 2, being narrow-minded in dermatology. This is because a lot of what we do in other specialties are not directly relevant to dermatology. For example, doing ward work in other specialties. You may think that your attention is better spent in dermatology stuff, for example, getting all the points you need for your CV to get into dermatology. Now, I would have to disagree completely. Everyone has to start from somewhere and you can't expect yourself to do everything you want right from the beginning. There are always things to learn from other specialties, from non-clinical skills such as time management and effective communication between colleagues and patients, to acquiring new knowledge from other specialties. The skin itself is the largest organ in our body, and a lot of what goes on internally comes out as skin issues. And so we often get called by other specialties asking us to see their patients who may have developed a lesion or a rash secondary to what they are suffering from. This is why having a knowledge of what other specialties do help a lot when you're practicing as a consultant dermatologist. There are times I wish I have done more rotations through pediatrics and renal medicine, as they would have prepared me better to be more confident in managing these patients. For those people who want to take a shortcut to dermatology to enjoy this perceived 9-to-5 cushy life, please don't. There is no such thing as a 9-to-5 job in dermatology. And so if this is your primary reason, then don't apply at all. I would encourage you to stay positive and take pride in whatever you do, even though you might not be doing dermatology at this point in time, as this will come in handy when you practice dermatology in the future. By being narrow-minded on dermatology and simply just want to do dermatology and forget about everything else, it simply makes you a terrible person to work with, and no one will appreciate you if you go away to do clinics and courses all the time and just forsaking the duties that you are given. Number 3, saying that you want to do cosmetic dermatology only. Now, I just want to put it out there and say that there is nothing wrong, in my opinion, to want to do cosmetic procedures in the UK. In fact, it is recognized in our curriculum as something we all need to know as dermatologists, as a lot of the time patients come to see us with complications from cosmetic procedures. However, it is generally frowned upon in interviews if you say that you want to do cosmetic dermatology in the future. The reason why is because we work in the NHS, which is a government-funded national health service. And so because of that, cosmetic work is not considered part of it. And so by saying that you want to do cosmetic dermatology, essentially you're implying that you don't want to be part of NHS and you want to do private work instead. And so this might make your interviewers question why they would want to pick you over the other candidates. The last thing you should avoid doing is to pay lots of money on courses and conferences. We all know that dermatology is highly competitive, and we all know that there aren't many courses and conferences out there for trainees at a pre-registrar level. As such, some private companies use this to their advantage and charge a fortune for interview prep courses and conferences. People, being desperate like myself, pay for them, and if you ask me if it is worth it, probably not, because you can get all the information you want by asking around, Googling online, and doing interview prep sessions with your seniors and your colleagues. If you have the money and you're so desperate that you don't mind spending a ton of money on this 1 hour course, then go for it. No one is stopping you. But if you ask me, on hindsight, I probably could have done this by myself. The course, I feel, helps by giving you the confidence when it comes to preparing for the interview. And I guess one thing would be you might feel left behind if you don't do the course when other people have already done it. But for me, on hindsight, I probably wouldn't have spent the money. I would have maybe saved it or spent it on other more productive things like traveling. Thank you for watching this video on the top 4 things you should never do when it comes to applying for dermatology. Now, these are all my own personal opinions, so I apologize if this offends anyone in particular. Thank you for watching once again, and see you next time. Bye bye!